In Japan, Pokémon Red and Green were released in pair, but when the Pokémon games were first released worldwide, Pokémon Red was paired with Pokémon Blue. So when Game Freak decided to remake Generation 1, it made sense to title them Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Japanese versions, but for the international release, Leaf Green was not retitled Water Blue, which confused many Pokémon fans around that time. According to Junichi Masuda, the reason why Leaf Green did not become Water Blue outside of Japan was because Leaf is a symbol of peace, while Fire and Water are opposing concepts and thus seems more like a conflict. For these new games, the creators wanted to give a name that implies peace amongst players. The Pokédex entries will sometimes let you know how dark and sophisticated some of these Pokémon can be, and a perfect example of that is Spiritomb. According to Spiritomb's Pokédex entries, it is said that because of its constant mischief and misdeeds, Spiritomb had to be trapped inside an odd keystone by a mysterious spell. Also, it is stated that Spiritomb was formed by uniting 108 spirits. Spiritomb weighs exactly 108 kg, its defense and special defense base values are 108, and its number in the Sinnoh Pokédex is also 108. What's really cool about 108 is that it's based on the number of temptations a person must overcome to reach Nirvana in Buddhism. This implies that Spiritomb could not resist temptations, so it was bound to a stone. Another Pokemon that is really flashed out because of the Pokédex entries is Arbok. According to the Pokédex, it is rumored that the face-like patterns on Arbok's chest differs from area to area. And the rumor turned out to be true because the Arbok in Hoenn has different pattern than the Arbok in Kanto. Also, the design behind Arbok is very interesting because even though it's based on a cobra, some of its design also reference the legendary Basilisk. Arbok and its pre-evolution Aikens were originally the only Pokemon to learn the move Glare. The Basilisk was a poisonous serpentine dragon that would paralyze and kill people with its glare. The description of Glare in Fire Red and Leaf Green states that the user intimidates the target with the pattern on its belly, a description that seems to be intended specifically for Arbok. None of the other Pokemon that learns Glare have intimidating patterns on their bellies. In Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team, you'll get a chance to escort Gengar, who in those games is a very important character. What is strange about Gengar was that it knows Leer, Scratch, and Quick Attack. Gengar cannot learn those moves by any means in any generation. Another cool thing about Gengar is that along with Nidorino, with whom it battles in the beginning of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green, originated from some of the earliest designs for capsule monsters. Other early designs include Pokemon such as Lapras, Slowbro, and Rhydon. In each Super Smash Bros. Game, there is a very rare chance that a Mew could appear. In Super Smash Bros., it has a chance of 1 out of 151 to appear. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, its chance to appear is 1 out of 251. And in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, its chance to appear is 1 out of 493. This is a reference to how many Pokemon were out during the release of each Super Smash Bros. Game. 151 in Generation 1, 251 in Generation 2, and 493 in Generation 4. Another cool thing about Mew is that it's a very mysterious Pokemon, and as new generation is being introduced, the lore behind Mew gets even more complex. In the canon of the main games, many scientists believe that Mew is the ancestor of all Pokemon because of its DNA, and since there are few Pokemon that are from outer space, such as Deoxys and Jirachi, this means that Mew, or the Mew population, inhabits other areas of the universe. Alright, that is all for this video. I'll be back with another video soon, so subscribe and stay tuned.